A blessed day everyone, it's me again, Teacher Lumaban, and if you are new in my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell, to be updated in my videos. This time we will discuss Chapter 6 Insolvency of Cooperatives, and Chapter 7 Dissolution of Cooperatives of the Republic Act No. 9520, also known as an Act amending the Cooperative Code of the Philippines, to be known as the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Republic of the Philippines. Congress of the Philippines. Metro Manila. 14th Congress. Second Regular Session. Begun and held in Metro Manila, on Monday, the 28th day of July, 2008. Republic Act No. 9520. An act amending the Cooperative Code of the Philippines to be known as the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines in Congress assembled. Section 6. Article 64 of Chapter 6 on Insolvency of Cooperatives of the same code is hereby renumbered and amended to read, as follows. Chapter 6. Insolvency of Cooperatives. Article 63. Proceeding upon insolvency in case a cooperative is unable to fulfill its obligations to creditors due to insolvency, such cooperative may apply for such remedies as it may deem fit under the provisions of Act No. 1956, as amended, otherwise known as the Insolvency Law. Nothing in this article, however, precludes creditors from seeking protection from said insolvency law. Section 7. Articles 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, and 71 of Chapter 7 on Dissolution of Cooperatives of the same code are hereby renumbered and amended to read, as follows. Chapter 7. Dissolution of Cooperatives. Article 64. Voluntary dissolution where no creditors are affected. If the dissolution of a cooperative does not prejudice the rights of any creditor having a claim against it, the dissolution may be effected by a majority vote of the Board of Directors, and by a resolution duly adopted by the affirmative vote of at least 3/4 of all the members with voting rights, present and constituting a quorum at a meeting to be held upon call of the directors, provided, that the notice of time, place, and object of the meeting shall be published for 3 consecutive weeks in a newspaper published in the place where the principal office of said cooperative is located, or if no newspaper is published in such place, in a newspaper of general circulation in the Philippines, provided, further, that the notice of such meeting is sent to each member of record either by registered mail or by personal delivery at least 30 days prior to said meeting. A copy of the resolution authorizing the dissolution shall be certified to by a majority of the Board of Directors and countersigned by the Board Secretary. The authority shall thereupon issue the certificate of dissolution. Article 65. Voluntary dissolution where creditors are affected. Where the dissolution of a cooperative may prejudice the rights of any creditor, the petition for dissolution shall be filed with the authority. The petition shall be signed by a majority of its board or directors or other officers managing its affairs, verified by its chairperson or board secretary or one of its directors, and shall set forth all claims and demands against it, and that its dissolution was resolved upon by the affirmative vote of at least 3/4 of all the members with voting rights, present and constituting a quorum at a meeting called for that purpose. If the petition is sufficient in form and substance, the authority shall issue an order reciting the purpose of the petition and shall fix a date which shall not be less than 30 nor more than 60 days after the entry of the order. Before such date, a copy of the order shall be published at least once a week for 3 consecutive weeks in a newspaper of general circulation published in the municipality or city where the principal office of the cooperative is situated, or in the absence of such local newspaper, in a newspaper of general circulation in the Philippines, and a copy shall likewise be posted for 3 consecutive weeks in 3 public places in the municipality or city where the cooperative's office is located. Upon expiry of the 5-day notice to file objections, the authority shall proceed to hear the petition and try any issue raised in the objection filed, and if the objection is sufficient and the material allegations of the petition are proven, it shall issue an order to dissolve the cooperative and direct the disposition of its assets in accordance with existing rules and regulations. The order of dissolution shall set forth therein. Subarticle 1. The assets and liabilities of the cooperative. Subarticle 2. The claim of any creditor. Subarticle 3. The number of members, and Subarticle 4. The nature and extent of the interests of the members of the cooperative. Article 66. Involuntary dissolution. A cooperative may be dissolved by order of a competent court after due hearing on the grounds of Subarticle 1. Violation of any law, regulation, or provisions of its bylaws, or Subarticle 2. Insolvency. Article 67. Dissolution by order of the authority. The authority may suspend or revoke, after due notice and hearing, the certificate of registration of a cooperative on any of the following grounds. Subarticle 1. Having obtained its registration by fraud. Subarticle 2. Existing for an illegal purpose. Subarticle 3. Willful violation, despite notice by the authority, of the provisions of this code or its bylaws. Subarticle 4. Willful failure to operate on a cooperative basis, and Subarticle 5. Failure to meet the required minimum number of members in the cooperative. Article 68. Dissolution by failure to organize and operate. If a cooperative has not commenced business and its operation within 2 years after the issuance of its certificate of registration or has not carried on its business for 2 consecutive years, the authority shall send a formal notice to the said cooperative to show cause as to its failure to operate. Failure of the cooperative to promptly provide justifiable cause for its failure to operate shall warrant the authority to delete its name from the roster of registered cooperatives and shall be deemed dissolved. Article 69. Liquidation of a cooperative. Every cooperative whose charter expires by its own limitation or whose existence is terminated by voluntary dissolution or through an appropriate judicial proceeding shall nevertheless continue to exist for 3 years after the time it is dissolved, not to continue the business for which it was established but for the purpose of prosecuting and defending suits by or against it, settlement and closure of its affairs, disposition, conveyance, and distribution of its properties and assets. At any time during the said 3 years, the cooperative is authorized and empowered to convey all of its properties to trustees for the benefit of its members, creditors, and other persons in interest. From and after any such conveyance, all interests which the cooperative had in the properties are terminated. Upon the winding up of the cooperative affairs, any asset distributable to any creditor, shareholder, or member who is unknown or cannot be found shall be given to the federation or union to which the cooperative is affiliated with. A cooperative shall only distribute its assets or properties upon lawful dissolution and after payment of all its debts and liabilities, except in the case of decrease of share capital of the cooperative and as otherwise allowed by this code. Article 70. Rules and regulations on liquidation. The authority shall issue the appropriate implementing guidelines for the liquidation of cooperatives. I hope you learned something about our topic about Chapter 6 Insolvency of Cooperatives, and Chapter 7 Dissolution of Cooperatives of the Republic Act No. 9520, also known as an act amending the Cooperative Code of the Philippines to be known as the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. If you learned something in this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video with your friends to also learn about this topic. If you have comments, questions, and suggestions, you can leave a message in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching my videos, hoping that we meet again in my next vlog, and God bless you always.